Good day, everyone. This is Sidney for Fair of SL Podcast. I'm very excited again to be sharing information with you, the information that is meant to change your life and make you better. We are on another important topic today, which I'm very excited about as always. Have the guts to be disruptive. It is very important to understand that everything is dependent on what we do in life. There is nothing as wonderful as knowing what you want in life. When it is clear to us what is important to us, it is a very good place to be at. It is very important for us to understand without a shadow of doubt who we are and what we want in life. And the most important thing to us, when we are resolute about what is top of the list of our priorities, we know for sure we can lean our weight on that which is important to us, and we can do as much as we can. We can put a lot of effort to make sure that what is important to us is achieved. And what is important to us is the thing that matters and the thing that we can put our money on. When we have stayed too long in dysfunctions and we have stayed too long in the life of not enough, we come to a place where we understand the importance of doing everything in our power to reverse some things, to do everything in our power to make sure that we do what is necessary to improve our lives or to do things that can bring an improvement to everything that we do. And having said that, it is a very good space to be at. When you have come to a place where you understand, I've been too long in dysfunctions and things have not been going the way I want. And when it comes to a place where it comes to here, when you are up to here with everything, when enough is enough, you know for sure it is time to do everything in our power to bring change that is necessary. And that's when we can come to a place where we can have the guts to do what we need to do. We can decide to assume a soft spot in life. That can be a choice that we choose. And we can decide to have a laid back posture, because those are the postures or those are the approaches that we can assume from our comfort zones. When nothing is bothering us, we can decide to be soft in life, and we can decide to have a laid back posture. But we need to understand that it comes a time in life where we can no longer afford to listen to stories, or when we can no longer afford to live with the things that are making us uncomfortable. It comes a time in life where some things are becoming just too uncomfortable to bear. And when you are there, you know you need to tighten up your belt. You need to do what you need to do so that at the end of the day you can bring the necessary changes. That's when we can talk about having the guts to do stuff. When there is a thorn in your flesh and you are the only one feeling the pain, you can't afford to relax, because all you want at the end of the day is the relief that comes with the removal of the thorn in your flesh. When we are in that space in life, we know we are in a good place. Those are the spaces that will push anyone to the limits. Those are the spaces that can push us to have the guts to bring the necessary changes, or to have the guts to stand up for what we believe in or what we see as important in our lives. There are situations where we can't afford to postpone anything to a later date. And when you are in that space, you know you are in a good space, because there won't be any procrastination anymore. There won't be anything that is postponed to the future, because things have to be done there and there. And those are the spaces that I really like, because those are the spaces that will push everybody or anyone to come to a place where they can bring necessary changes, or when they can do everything, have the guts to stand for what is important to them. It takes somebody with understanding to know that it is dangerous to postpone things which are important. It takes somebody with a clear understanding of what is important and what is top in the list of their priorities to know that it is important not to postpone or to procrastinate anything. It is understandable when we get stuck in things because we don't know what to do. It is very understandable when we don't have a clue of what to do. But it is totally a different story when we know the truth and we have the information on what to do, and we don't do anything with the information. There will be a problem, because at the end of the day, you'll be there knowing what you need to do and knowing what is important and knowing that it is imperative for us to be making motions so that we can usher in what is important. And it is very important to jump at a chance of relief, bearing in mind that it comes with opposition. It is very important for us to understand that we need to jump at every opportunity of relief. When you are in trouble, or when your life is not panning out the way you want it to turn out, we need to jump at any chance of relief. But we should be aware that there will be opposition, there will be resistance, there will be ridicules. There are people who are going to be shouting at you as if you want to take anything from them, while in the actual fact, you are just trying to change what needs to be changed with your life. And there will be other people who will be trying to act important in your path, not even intruding into their things, but just doing what you need to do. And they will want to stand as if they are important, and they will be saying a lot of stuff just to deter you. And you should know it is very important for us to come to a place where we understand and we take our chances and we jump at any chance that will bring relief to anything that we are going through. Our focus should always be on getting relief, and our eyes should always be on the ball. We need to focus. We need to know what is important, and we need to make sure that we forget about the distractors. Distractors are always going to be there, because at the end of the day, they don't want to be working on what is important to them. But whenever somebody wants to do what is important to them, they will be there pulling you down and trying to distract you on what you are trying to do, or on the relief that you want to bring to your life and to yourself. The same people standing on your way, we need to understand this. The same people standing on your way, the same people who are shouting you down, the same people who are saying a lot of things, trying to distract you from doing what you need to do, are the same people who are going to cheer you up. There's the same people who are going to be trying to act important when you are finally getting a relief. These are the people that would try to act as if they are contributing so that they can be part of what you are succeeding on or what you are achieving. But while in the actual fact, they were there being distractions when you start. We need to be aware of all these dynamics, and we need to make a choice that all these things are not going to deter us. They're not going to take us from what is important, and they are not going to take us from what we are trying to do and focusing on. The distractors and the opposers will line up trying to offer help when you don't need it anymore. When you start and when things are still shady, that's when you need a lot of help. But when now you are getting relief and everything is shaping up, you don't need much help because everything is shaping up. But those are the times that the distractors and the opposers will try to offer help so that they can share in the glory when you finally become what you need to become. Truth be said, or truth be told, we can make necessary changes in our lives. We can get to the relief that we want. We can make strides if only we have the guts to be disruptive. We can get to all these places if we are ready and we have made our minds to be disruptive, and we have the guts to do that. We know for sure we can get to the relief that we want. We will get to the things. We can correct our path when we have come to a place where we have the guts to be disruptive. If we are willing to shake the status quo and go against the current, we can achieve something which is worthwhile. It is very important for us to understand. If we can understand that it is within our abilities, it is what we can do to change the status quo about our lives, we can come to a place where we can do stuff which is worthwhile. We can do everything. We can bring the changes that are necessary. We can achieve what we want to achieve if we come to a place where we have the guts to stand for what we want, to shout louder, to command some things which are necessary for ourselves to achieve, to come our way. It is very important. If we are not willing to shout at the top of our voices, even when everybody is telling us we are making noise, we are not ready for the change that is necessary, and we are not ready to facilitate and usher in the important issues of life that we are envisaging and or what we want in our personal lives. We need to be in a position where we can shout louder when we are told we are making noise. We just have to have the guts to be disruptive. This is our lives we are talking about. This is what is important to us. And what is important to us, we need to be able to stand for. We need to be able to shout louder. It doesn't matter who says what. At the end of the day, this is our lives we are talking about. We must be willing to be disruptive and demand relief for our troubles. It is okay to cause havoc in trying to get ourselves out of the discomfort. Some of these things are very, very important to us. We should be willing to be disruptive, and we should be willing to cause havoc. When you want what is rightfully yours, there's nothing wrong with causing havoc. There's nothing wrong with demanding the services that you are supposed to be getting at the end of the day. Especially when we are paying. We need to be there, and we need to be able to have the guts to be disruptive. It is important to have the guts to be disruptive, because most of the time, that is the only thing that will lead us to getting the relief that we want. This is the only thing that will help us get out of our trouble, our lag, the things that are not working for us. We need to have the guts to be disruptive, to change the status quo, to be there demanding what is rightfully yours. And it doesn't work to assume a soft spot when your life is at stake. We need to leave the soft approach to people who are in their comfort zones. There are people who have nothing to fight for. There are people whose lives are being set already because of maybe their inheritances or their bloodlines and all that. But when you are starting from scratch and there's nothing much to write home about, you can't afford to have a soft approach to life. You just need to have the guts to be disruptive. You need to have the guts to stand for what you want. And in conclusion, it is very important to have faith on the possibility of change of fortunes for us, and being willing to act on it with conviction that relief is possible and going to actually happen. We need to have faith in the possibility of change of fortunes for ourselves. This is what is important to us. And this is what we should be willing to fight for. This is what we'll be willing to be disruptive about. We need to believe that our lives can change. We need to believe that things can change around us. And we need to be convinced that relief is possible. We can get out of our situations and get to the other side. This is what is very, very important, and we need to underline some of these things. The world has to stand still the day we make demands to get our share of relief from our troubles. When we are serious about some of these things, the world has to respect us enough to stand still when we are there seeking for the relief from our trouble, because we will have the guts to be disruptive. We will have the guts to stand for what we desire. We will have the right to shout and to cause attention at the end of the day, because this is what is important to us. And we are doing it for ourselves, and we are not even disturbing anybody. We are just there seeking relief for our trouble, for the things that are bothering us, for the things that we want to get away from. It is very important for us to come to realize that it is imperative to understand that it will take guts to stop the normal processes. If we are not willing to have the guts to be disruptive, we are not going to get to the things that we desire. And we need to normalize being disruptive. At the end of the day, when it comes to a place where we have to demand our rights and what is rightfully ours, we should be ready to be disruptive. We should be ready to stand for what we want and shout louder, so that at the end of the day, the world can stand still and hand over what is rightfully ours. When things are not working for us, when we are on the backside of life, and when we are troubled, if we are not going to assume the posture that we need to assume, having the guts to be disruptive, we should be assured that nothing is going to change in our lives. But this is what we want, and this is what we desire, and this is what we deserve for our lives. That's why we have to have the guts to be disruptive. Thank you.